Hi everyone, I'm Chrissy, your convict specialist right here. Welcome to my channel, and today I will be talking about who qualifies and how to qualify for house arrest. Now, with the current situation, I do hope that all of you are staying safe and healthy at home. And I know that COVID-19 has affected the whole world, but now it's putting its mark on the people currently incarcerated also. I did some research earlier and I would like to share with you what might be some of the near future changes for house arrest eligibility. There has been a petition filed with the Supreme Court, and it's requesting the governor here in Nevada to release inmates who fall into one of the following criteria. Anyone identified as particularly vulnerable to COVID-19, anybody with medical condition. Anyone whom eligibility for release is within the next 18 months. Prisoners already being granted parole, but they're still kept incarcerated. That actually happens a lot, especially in Nevada. And all nonviolent offenders who are set to be released within the next 3 years. So if anyone you know falls into one of these categories, I do highly recommend you to watch closely the latest statements on the subject, because it will open more and more opportunities to apply for house arrest on earlier date, or in some cases even release you earlier than your eligibility date. Today I will be talking about you taking the step-to-step process for your house arrest qualification criteria. However, I first do want to clarify something very important, that there is a huge difference in between qualifying for residential confinement before trial and sentencing and after conviction. Before trial, the judge just has the right to just release you home because you're not convicted yet, you're not have been sentenced yet, and they put you on either monitoring device like GPS bracelet or alcohol bracelet if it's a DUI, first offender, second offender. DUI usually get that bracelet called SCRAM. It basically monitors all the alcohol content in your body, or like lotions, now that you cannot have that on you. I was on this for 2 years, and after that I got convicted. Now I will be explaining the process and the requirements for people that had already been convicted by the court. This is after you had already been in prison. The first one, the qualifications, is very important, is that you must be 6 months write-up free. Write-up is a penalty that they give you in prison if you don't follow rules or regulations, bad behavior, whatever the cause. If you do get one of these and it's a major write-up, you cannot apply for house arrest for over 6 months. Only non-violent offenders qualify to apply. DUIers usually have 12 months criteria to apply prior to their parole eligibility date. So for example, my parole eligibility date is December of 2020. I was able to apply December of 2019. For other offenders, such as drug use, they have 18 months window to apply for house arrest. Now, make sure that you have a job and you also have a sponsor. No matter if you're full-time employed, you still do need to provide the sponsors for your parole officer, and they sign for you so they know that you had paid all your bills and you will be able to. I want to talk a little bit about all the payments that one must meet and have before you even try to apply, because it's very expensive to be on house arrest. Your PSI will tell you if you're qualify for one device or both devices. I qualify for both devices. My monthly payment just for the equipment, it's close to $600. Now, other than that, I do also have to pay for Victims Fund, which is 5% of your paycheck goes to the Victims Fund through the Nevada Department of Corrections. You have to pay Parole and Probation and supervision fee every single month, which is $30 a month. Also, any restitution you might own, you do need to be able to make payments on it also. And if you cannot get all that done, they have the right to send you back to prison before you decide to go with the 305 program, make sure that all your finances are in order. Now, something about the house. Some POs, that's parole officers, some parole officers do not allow you to live in guard-gated community. So, for example, you're okay to go with keypad and have the gate code. However, it's not okay for some of them if they're not able to access you at any time. They have that right. And they do not need to notify you that they're coming. That is why they don't allow you to go to guard-gated communities. Make sure that your address is set on that and you either have a key code for them or you don't have any guard at all. Once you do have that already set in hand, you have to expect 45 days for parole and probation to review your case. First, your caseworker has to put it through Offenders Management Division, also known as OMD. And once they do approve it, it goes in the hands of parole and probation. This whole process may take 45 days. If your house do not meet any of the following qualifications, they will deny it. You will have to wait another 45 days, even more sometimes. Make sure that you have all these things in hand and you're already set, so you don't need to worry about getting denied. Now, a few of the things that you need to know that are very important for when you already put your application in and the parole officer needs to go and review your house. There is no alcohol allowed in the house. That does include no mouthwash, no sanitizer. So if anybody's already living in the house, make sure that all these items are thrown away and nowhere near. No guns. You're not allowed to have any weapons. You're a felon. You will never be allowed to have any weapons. What else? Let's see. You cannot live with other felons. That's one of the requirements that's very important, and I went through it with my parole officer for about 30 minutes, explaining to me that I cannot have any communication, I cannot live with another felon, and another felon cannot come to the house either. Make sure that you don't keep any communication with them. Once approved and once your living situation is all settled, but they transport to the parole and probation office where you do have to have an intense interview with your parole officer. It takes about an hour. They ask you all kinds of questions just to qualify in what kind of a danger you are against the society and how much they do need to keep track of you. Once you go through that interview, they do send you to drug test. There's no way out of it, so you do need to get drug tested in PNP before you leave. When you have all that handled, they do send you and meet you with a counselor. That counselor lady, it's really nice. However, you need to talk to her every 2 weeks. This is a requirement by the Parole and Probation Office. So when you're all said and done there, you have your paperwork in hand. One of the parole officers takes you to the private company that puts your bracelet on your ankle, explains to you how to charge it and all that. I will be talking about that in my next video much more in detail. Gives you the breathalyzer if you need it, and it gives you a piece of paper which is your daily activity sheet that you need to provide to them every 2 weeks. Also, when you go and see that counselor lady, you have to go by the this company. Also provide them with activity sheet, tells you when did you leave, where did you go, when did you come back, and what kind of proof do you have that you've been there, which is any type of a receipt or appointment card, appointment slip, all that. So they do give you all these devices and they send you on your way. If you're a DUI, please make sure that you do have somebody to come and pick you up because you're not allowed to drive. Uber and Lyft are okay. You cannot drive. After all this is done, you need to know that you're finally home, and there are actually some perks to being home. I know that all this is too much information and it's very confusing. I had to go through it. I'm here to help if you have any questions. But some of the perks that you do need to be aware of is you're absolutely allowed to have a phone. Just make sure social media is totally fine too. Just make sure that you provide all your social media usernames to the paperwork that you need to file at PMP. They ask about that. Computer, obviously, you're allowed to have a computer. You do have 4 hours free time. That means that whenever you need to go grocery shopping or to the bank or doctor's appointments, you're allowed to do all that. You're also allowed to have like little goodies happening like nails. I can do my nails, which is amazing. They do allow you all that. They're not very, very difficult by dealing with them. You just have to give them a phone call, let them know I have a doctor's appointment today. This is the time. This is the time I'll be back. You're set and free to go. And you're home. Finally, you guys are home. So make sure you follow all that requirements. It will make it safe and sound where I'm at. And next week, please stay posted. It's going to be all the introductions and the little steps you need to take to deal with your bracelet, deal with your breathalyzer. Also, I will be talking in detail about the condition release agreement I had to sign by PMP once everything was approved and I was ready to go home. It's very important information. I'll also keep you posted on any update with this petition going on. It's really important. Let's hope it all passes through and all of you make it home safe and sound soon. Have a good one, you guys. I will see you next week. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. Bye.